Nothing better than a chicken noodle soup with a soda on the side. Chicken noodle soup. Is that it?
Yes. Bebe!
Hi.
All right, so tell me all the things. What's happening in your world?
Got a new label.
Nice.
Independent now. New management. New everything. Good vibes. Happier than ever. No boyfriend, which is why I'm probably happier than ever. Just kidding.
No, you know what's funny? I feel like once you get out of a relationship, you go through the initial mourning process, and then you realize I'm going to be
life
good.
is kind of nice. Like
Yeah.
I think nobody's checking up on me. I'm just doing my thing.
That's the one thing I hate about a partner. I feel like you got to always check in with them and
If
see
you have a good partner, I don't think it's that annoying, right? Or is it still?
I feel like it's annoying.
Okay.
Do you feel the same way?
If you have like the right partner, I feel like it's cool, right? Because then I feel like they're not. As if you have a partner that's going to be like, "Where are you? I see your location. You're not there." Like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like, we need trust here,
I know. We need some
especially
trust.
with what I do. If I'm like traveling and in different cities and stuff, I'm working. Like, I don't have time. I'm not at the club. Like,
You're working.
And if I'm at the club performing, I can't. I'm not drinking and like I need to stay focused. I need to sing. I need to perform. I'm not like out here just. Living it up.
You're not out here wilding and doing things like that.
Exactly. Like, I'm not out like, let's keep it PG, but like.
Let's talk about this new journey,
Yeah.
new label, new management. What made you decide to do all of these new things?
I think as a human, we have to kind of follow our gut. But sometimes when you're in a situation, you don't notice that you need to leave. It's like a relationship even. Like, you're so deep in it, you don't see it, but everybody else around you sees it. And I just knew I'm not like, and like reading stuff online and stuff, the fans kind of always clocked it and kind of knew, but it's not as easy as it seems when you're, tied to contracts and stuff like that. It takes a second. But I knew for a long time that something wasn't feeling right in my gut. That I wasn't happy. I didn't feel like I could be myself. I didn't feel like, everything wasn't like what it needed to be,
So how did you come to that conclusion? Because what's interesting, when you see things on Instagram, it's always interesting because fans always think that they know what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
My fans are smart, though. They kind of do. But it's not like you could, like in certain situations, it's not like you could just, as an artist, get up and leave. Like, you can't just be like, okay, I'm out. You know what I mean? There's so many more levels to that you can't really speak about. But I wasn't, I know it's my life. I know exactly what's going on, but it hits a wall at some point where it's like, what else do I have to lose? Either I got to make a change or I'm going to be in this situation forever. And I wasn't happy. Like,
I feel like in this situation, you literally have to bet on yourself. Like, you literally you've been doing this for a minute.
Trust
you know
me,
what you need to be doing. You know what I'm saying?
I just feel like when I was in the major label system, and I think there's good things about the major label system, and then there's bad things, and then there's good things about independent and bad things about independent. I wouldn't say bad, but like tougher situations that you're going to be at because you're going independent, so you don't have like such a massive machine behind you. So you really have to bet on yourself. You know what I mean? It's like you're taking more risks. It's like there's a lot of different things at play. But I was like, I want to bet on myself now.
I will say, I think it's safe to say you've been doing this for a while. So you got your people that's following you to make sure, that they're going to follow you and go wherever you're going to go.
Yes and no. I think I have like the diehard fans, but also, it's a tough business. You got to bring it, and it's you got to do it a certain way. You got to be out and about. You got to be in the ether, doing interviews like we are right now.
Doing TikToks, all
doing
that
TikToks,
stuff.
Yes.
Do you feel like it was not hard, but do you feel like it was a struggle to, I guess, make that decision and realize that you had to do what you had to do?
Of course. It's scary because you're like, for me, you, as you said, you have to bet on yourself. And life happens, you could be wrong, but for me it was like, I think it comes to a certain place where it's like, where like you, no matter who you are or where you are, it could be your job, it could be a relationship, it could be me at a label or in my career. You have to look at it in a way of being like, if I stay, what are the outcomes? And does leaving, like taking the risk, can that outweigh the best outcome or situation in this? And for me, it was yes. To me, it was like, I'd rather leave, bet on myself, and at least I know that I have checked all the boxes and did everything I possibly could have done and have no regrets than being stuck somewhere where I wasn't celebrated or a priority or, being heard. Because I think when you feel like you're not heard, that's the hardest part. And when you're even in life, like if you have friends that are like, you have a friend that you're like, they give me a bad vibe.
Yeah.
They act like they want to see you win, but they really don't. Like, you feel that. And I think those people get to you. You don't want to be around them. You want to be around people that celebrate you and believe in you, and will pick you up when you have those bad days, And I just felt like I was fighting a battle like a losing battle.
You know what's interesting? I feel like deep down inside, we all know those people. They're fun to be around, but they're also like not really your friend.
Energy.
They absolutely suck your energy.
I call them energy vampires.
Energy vampires.
Yeah, that in life in general.
Yeah.
You got to be really careful who you surround yourself with. And for me, for the longest time, I was like, I wish I could just say what I want to say and just say it, but I can't due to contractual obligations.
Yeah.
I don't want to say too much, but yeah, like after a certain point, you just can't take it anymore.
How do you protect your peace? You've been doing this for a while, right? I'm sure people are constantly coming at you.
Yeah.
How do you protect your peace? What do you do to protect your peace in situations like this, or just in general? I've
come to a point where I've been in the music business for so long, and even in life in general, like I shut out. I always just think about like what's in front of me and like what's ahead and like what I love, and like I always put the passion first more so than anything. Like I never like started my career being like, oh, I want to like make money and like it's all about the money, or I want to be famous. Like I really like just loved writing music, so I keep trying to go back to that. And then when it comes to energy, like with friends and stuff like that, like I feel like you just know when somebody's like, if it's not a two-way street, it's like you always have that one friend that you can call and like, or they'll call. I've had friends that like just call me with problems, but when I needed to call them with problems,
they're not answering. Or like you talk about yourself for 2 minutes and then they flip it back on themselves. I'm like, really? Yeah. I was like, I just listened to you talk about your ex for like 3 hours.
Yes, and I'm telling you that my stomach hurts right now, and you're like, well then and I'm just like, I just think it's about not cutting those people out, but knowing how to compartmentalize that. So I can't say that word.
Compartmentalize?
I can never say it. Compartmentalize.
Yeah.
But that's also hard for me too, because I'm very like, either like I can't hide that. Some people are really good at that. Like, you know what I mean?
You're probably like a type A personality. Well, I feel like you have to be a type A personality to be able to do this job.
Yeah, because it's like, I don't really like, for me, it's like I want to have people that give me good energy. Like, if I don't like your vibe, like I don't want you around me.
Right.
But then I know in certain situations in life, you got to kind of play that part, right?
Yes. I know exactly what you're... You got to play
the game.
Here's one thing. This is... One of my radio aunties told me this, and I live and die by this.
Radio auntie.
One of my radio aunties, she said, not everybody can help you, but everybody can hurt you. So it's almost like a fine line that you have to play, because it could just be something as when somebody brings up your name and they do a look or something like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They may not be able to help you.
Well, you want to hear what somebody told me?
Yes.
Especially being in the music industry, because it's I've been in LA for 17 years now, and in the industry for more than like 15 years, whatever. And you work with people, then you don't work with people, and then of course it's like an ex, right? It's like you don't want to see your ex win, really. So not that people want my downfall, but like I know there's a lot of people out there like watching me still. I still have people texting me, being like, "Hey, oh my god," like, and it's like, "Where have you been?" Like now you're back in, you're back in the mix. But if people can't control, if like, for example, like if I'm talking about you to somebody else, right, and they know me and they trust me, and I don't want to see you win, or I don't want to, they've never met you, so they can't make that assumption about you, but I can change the way they think about you because they know me. So so people try to change, what's the word? Damn, I forgot.
Perception.
They can control the perception of you by the relationships they have.
Yeah.
So that's why I try to always, it's hard not to, because I trust, some people I trust, but then I'm like, I need to know that for myself.
Correct.
So you have to be careful too on how people perceive you, but a lot of people will perceive you based off of other people's.
Absolutely, especially in this business. I feel
not even this business, life in general.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to hang out with her, like she, like
because people's perception is their reality.
Exactly. It's so annoying.
Does that mess with your mental though? Like when you get texts from people and they're like, "Oh, can't believe you're still doing this," or blah 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 blah.
Yes.
How do you deal with that?
What is, like? Why are you texting me? Like you didn't like.
And it's almost like
Where
they're trying to
be. Where were you when I needed you? It's kind of almost like they do this thing, and I think it. Like I got a text from one of my exes too. Hey, I saw the Supercut come out. I'm so excited for your Dirty Blonde album, and I'm like, I don't understand. Like what? Like what are you trying to accomplish here? Like you broke up with me. Like what do you like?
Testing the waters.
I don't like that.
Wouldn't you say?
Like that. Yeah, testing the water. I don't like that. Or people like to have. I think when people think that like something's happening or everybody's in like it's fine in life. Sorry, now I'm getting all like philosophical. But in life,
no, this is my dream and type of interviews.
Okay, so in life, this is how I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And people will be like, because a lot of the times, especially throughout my career, they're like, oh, BB's like, in the beginning of my career when I was writing about like depression and anxiety and mental health, they were like, oh, this is too dark. This was like, it's too much for the radio. It's too much for this, blah, 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 blah. But I was just always trying to be more insightful. And one of my philosophical thoughts is everybody's going to use you at some capacity, right? Like, for example, you and me right now, I'm doing an interview with you. You're doing an interview with me. Like, we're kind of like using each other.
It's transactional.
It's okay if it's transactional equally.
Correct.
Does that make sense? For example, you have a rich sugar daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's rich, but he also wants to date the 20-year-old girl, the girl 20 years younger than him because she's hot.
Mm-hmm.
I find that equal transaction. She wants to date him because he has money. He wants to date her because she's hot. As long as they know that, and it's transactional.
Mm-hmm.
Now, or a friend, for example, like I said about the friend, I want somebody who I want somebody who can listen to my problems or like be there for me. But if they're not there for you, then that's not okay.
Yeah.
As long as we know what's going on.
It has to always be 50-50. It can't be 60-40.
Yeah, 50-50. And you have to be honest about it. And I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, you're using me. No, everybody's using everybody at some point, So back to like, people texting me, it's like, I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to stay in the mix so that if something happens and they need their artist or they want to feature or they want to come date me again, it's easy to just send that text.
Or they want a song written.
Yeah, or they want me to write a song or jump on their new artist, like, write a song for their artist. It's like they texted me so that when they need something a month from now, it's not going to be out of the blue.
Correct. I'm scrolling back in my mind and seeing like, why is this person randomly texting me right now?
Because one of my exes texted me and was like, the one I told you about, like just now. And then he was like, hey, I heard you had to connect with this person. We're doing this event. Could you connect us?
No. Did you guys see it click when it clicked?
Yeah.
That's wild, though.
But it's okay. This is life, though. But that's what I think. You can't get down about it because you have to know that everything in life is about transactions.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we nicer to strangers? Because they don't know anything about us, and we don't know what we can get from them. Oh, thank you. And then when we know people are like, I feel like we're mean, like we're the meanest to our family members because we know their blood, and. I could.
We take them for granted.
Yeah, I could fight with my brother today, but I know he's still my brother tomorrow.
Correct.
And he'd be like, "I'm sorry, I love you." You know what I mean? But you never do that to a stranger. Kind of messed up, huh?
It's very messed up. As you sit here and you think about it, like, yeah, because we are nicer to the strangers because they don't know us 100%. They don't know our flaws. They don't know anything about us. So we can essentially be anybody that we want to be. Do you ever use this as like, when you're sitting down, you're writing songs? Do you think about all of these situations and just start writing songs about it?
Yeah, of course. I love taking songs and like a specific feeling and writing about it.
That's such a gift.
I wrote a really good song that I have, but I don't know if it'll ever come out. It's called False Gods.
Mm-hmm.
I actually got it with Prodigy, and I did it with Prodigy. And Maxim is like the incredible writer, producer, and him and I did it in London together. And we were talking about how the industry could be, we are constantly... like celebrities, for example, like we hate them when they're alive and then when they're dead, we cry and like we're tweeting about it. I can't believe RIP. But then also like politicians or people in general, like gatekeepers, how false all of this really is when it comes down to it. And how there's like a weird love-hate relationship with it. Really amazing song. Maybe Prodigy will put it out. It's not finished yet, but there was something really special about that song. Like, I love writing about stuff like that. But it all depends on, like, does it sound complete? Is it finished? Maybe it'll come out in the future, but I haven't finished it yet. But that's, like, one of my favorite songs I've written.
Is it hard to, I guess, when you're writing a song, right? Is it easy to walk away from it for maybe, like, a couple of months, a couple of years, and then walk back to it and get it done?
Yes. I'm Good. Like, I know I'm Good is not, like, it's just a dance song, but when we had done it, it was like 7 years ago maybe now, or maybe 7, 8. And I remember Guetta playing me the sample, and I was like, this is so corny. Just because, but it just was the timing too. Yeah. I know it's terrible to say, but at that time, I also felt like as an artist, like, I just think it's too early, like, to put this out. It has to be like it has to be the right timing.
What was that sample?
Blue. La,
that's right. Okay, right.
Eiffel. I was gonna say Eiffel Tower. No.
Potato.
Eiffel 65.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard it for years, and then he played it randomly at a festival, and then somebody had recorded that, ripped the audio, put the audio on YouTube. Then somebody took the audio from YouTube, put it on a live stream on Twitch. Took that Twitch, put it on TikTok, and then it went viral.
Would you be mad?
Like, what?
Were you mad when that happened?
I wasn't mad. I just heard the sample, and I was like, because they had pitched me up. Like, they had pitched the sample up to make it quicker for TikTok. And I was like, we had this idea, and somebody did it. Like, damn, like, Guetta was onto something. And then when I had, like, listened to it again, I was like, wait. I was like, I didn't even remember doing it.
That was me.
I was like, it was my voice.
Yeah.
It was pitched up. And I was like, I wasn't mad. I was like, I was so confused. I was like, what is going on? Like, it was such a weird, like.
I would be so pissed because it's like, it's not even done. Y'all got me out here sounding crazy.
No, I had.
In my head, because,
what's
it's
funny?
not done.
I hit up Guetta, and I was like, yo, Guetta. I was like, the song's going viral on TikTok. He's like, okay, I'll check the numbers. I was like, you don't need to. I was like, listen.
Trust me.
I was like, trust me. I was like, there's no analytics to like. Go to the sound and look at all the numbers of the videos being made. I was like, there's no analytics to this. Let's finish the song and put it out. And he was like, okay, I'll be back. And I was like, we don't need to check the analytics. Like, you see the number there. Like, it's
trust
not that,
your gut.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm on TikTok. It's literally coming up every other, is like, I'm good. Like, the sample of, like, the piece of it that got leaked. And I was like, we don't need, the numbers don't lie. Like,
moral of the story, trust your gut.
Yeah, trust your gut.
Do me a favor and tell me about I Like You Better Than Me.
Being surrounded by other female artists in the industry, like my peers. And I feel like I struggled for the longest time to, like, want to be this, like, pop star or, like, have these hit records on my own, beyond the features. And I always struggled with, like, who am I? Like, how should I present myself? Because I always felt like coming from New York City, being Albanian, loving rhythmic music, but then also loving dance. And, like, I was like, how do I combine it? Like, and then having all these features and giving all these songs away because really nobody really wanted to put the songs out that I had written. They just didn't believe in them until they came out with other artists and were pushed properly. And I was just surrounded by so many of these other females that were just, like, had their lives together. And I would see them at events and they just looked so good and skinny and they had a #1 hit song and they were in a relationship. And I was saying, like, for me, I was just trying to, like, get through the night without, like, freaking out or, like, getting in my own head. And beyond that, I think even just as a woman, as a man, like, I don't think it matters who you are. Like, comparison is the thief of joy.
Absolutely.
And it's hard sometimes not to compare yourself to other people.
And it's harder even now because this is why I tell people social media is not real, because people put what they want you to see on Instagram and TikTok.
You could edit, filter, everything. Like, we just put the video for I Like You Better Than Me out, and we made the decision, which was very, very hard for me, to not have it edited at all. Because when you put a music video out, you could put smoothing, you could edit it like how you would like a filter, a filter. And we came to the conclusion of not doing anything to it, and I was like, OMG. It's like you see the skin pores, you see.
Were you happy with it?
I mean, I watch it. It's like I feel a little uncomfortable, but it is what it is. Like, whatever. Like, whatever. Like,
I mean, I feel like you've been doing it for a while. I feel like after a certain point, you just have to, like, wash your hands with it.
I guess. You always want to look like your best, But
the
video is literally me ripping my extensions out, ripping my eyelashes off, taking my lipstick off, wiping all my makeup off, like, ripping my shirt. It's like, the angle of me in the mirror is not the best. Like, you get the side arm shot, and I'm like, but then I was like, you know what? Like, how that would be, like, hypocritical of me to talk about not liking myself, but then also, like, being real about it and then editing it to make me look skinnier, like, smooth my skin out, my dark circles. Because my dark circles have always been, like, a thing, like, just
like a thing for you.
With my genetics, like, my dad has it. Like, you know what I mean? So Wiping the concealer off was a tough one for me.
But here's the thing.
Because I'm always wearing like 8 pounds of concealer under my eye. I'm like, I want raccoon eyes. You know what I mean? Like, I want to cover that.
But think about like how this is going to be in the messaging for like young girls who are like looking and seeing the video. You know what I'm saying? And it's so relatable.
I've already been reading like the comments, and it's not even just like, there was one girl who was like, as a thick girl, like this is really like speaking to me. But then there was another girl who was like, you know, a lot of people see me as a skinny girl, but they don't know that I have an eating disorder. And like, this has been like, I feel like I'm constantly struggling with myself. And I think it's like on all ends of the spectrum. But then also I saw a TikTok of a woman, you know, who had posted a picture of herself, a video of herself being like, I always compare myself to her. And then when the beat dropped, it was her like 10, 15 years ago, like super thin, young, like, you know, looking like just amazing. And that really spoke to me and made me feel a certain type of way. Because I remember when I was like, even at the VMAs, my first ever VMAs, I remember somebody on my team, new team now, being like, you need to get lipo. But I was like 120 pounds, like so tiny. And like that stuff, no, but like you're on the carpet and people are telling you that, like that gets in your head. You know what I mean? And then I used to think I was so fat, so like all these things. I had people telling me these things, and I look at those pictures, I'm like, wow, it was so beautiful. And like, I was so cute, you know, and I wish I would have known that.
That is so goddamn toxic.
That's life.
Do you ever look back and think to yourself that was toxic?
Yeah. I mean, like all, you know, and there's toxicity everywhere, you know, but you gotta,
unfortunate. That's so unfortunate though. I feel like that's going to like stick with me though.
I think I've had a creative director in the past, who, when I met with her, she was very powerful, had done a lot of big music videos. And she was like, I will not work with you unless you lose 20 pounds. Because you will not look good on camera. She wasn't wrong. I mean, like, I understand where she was coming from. She had like more of the traditional approach. I get it. You know, because it's like you're in the public eye. You want to be tight. You want to be this. But that, when I look at it now, I had to like check in. I had to do 2 check-ins in a day with her. I had to do my morning workout, and then I had to do my cardio at night. And if I didn't do the check-ins, I would get in trouble. And then I couldn't eat at lunch. I know it sounds crazy. People are going to be like, what the hell?
But you know, I think these are the stories that people like, this is like life in this industry.
Yeah. So like when I like, you know, gains my weight and stuff like that, I'm like, you know, people don't know all the backstories and like all the, you know, the stuff that stays with you, you know, and trying to get to a healthier place where you could like feel like, you know, you can enjoy life and not.
See, I'm a foodie.
Like,
I look at a cheeseburger.
You could tell I'm not starving. You know what I mean? Like,
let me tell you something. I look at a cheeseburger and I'm like, all right, 50
I know. I get turned on. I get turned on. Oh yeah, I know. Oh, sorry. We're in a different headspace here.
Tell me.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, say what you're gonna say.
I mean, like, I don't see, like, I don't like. Maybe that's like the issue, but like, I don't think there's anything wrong with eating a slice of pizza, but like, pair it with the salad.
Right.
Balance.
Yeah.
You know?
See, I want French fries or some chicken wings with it.
Nothing better than a chicken noodle soup with a soda on the side. Chicken noodle soup. Is that it?
Yes. Chicken noodle soup with a soda on the side. Yeah.
No, but like, to me, I say I want like a salad with fries.
I think that's balanced though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than
get a little chicken on there. There's protein. You know, you gotta like. That's what life is all about, though, is the balance.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's like, I don't care if people look at me and be like, okay, she's a little thick. Like, she, you know, you could tell she takes care of herself. She works out, but she, like, you know, she'll eat the burger here and she'll eat the burger.
You're normal. Can we agree to that?
We're normal. I'm normal, but we also got to keep it a buck that, you know, you're still in the public eye, you know? But it's like, if I wasn't scared, honestly, I would do lipo and all that stuff, but I'm so scared.
Me too. I'm scared of surgery.
Me too. My mom always raised me kind of like, only do it if like
you have to.
Yeah, like God for but I'm not against it.
Yeah.
Like, to everybody that does it, I'm like, look at their bodies. I'm like,
right.
Damn, she has no stomach and an ass. Like, damn.
Yeah,
like,
I definitely got that sucked out.
Because I want that like.
You got that. What are you talking about?
If I had the no with the.
Yeah.
These be scared.
Where can you go and get that sort of? No.
I've done the meetings and stuff, but I'm like, nah.
You can't.
I'm too scared. No.
You ever see the people where they got the BBLs and then they're on the plane sitting backwards because they can't sit on their butt?
I can't. Could you imagine doing a 6-hour flight with the BBL and you can't sit on it? How is that safe though?
I can't do a 6-hour flight.
How do you take off? How do you put yourself in the seatbelt?
Yeah.
Oh, they smell.
Yeah. No, they smell like.
Do they smell? The question is, I don't know if you'll use it. Do they smell because it's like the way that it's leaking out, or do they smell because they can't reach and clean properly, or is it both?
I'm about to ask the question on the radio. I would assume both, though.
Well,
yeah, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Rotting Skin? No.
Really?
Beauty in Black. Have you seen that?
No. Let me write that down.
It's such a good show. You got to watch Beauty in Black.
Beauty
it's my
in Black.
favorite. I binged that. Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's about the lady who has the beauty thing. Tyler Perry, yeah.
That was a Tyler Perry thing?
It's so good. One of the girls gets a BBL. This is true in Atlanta because she works at the strip club, and they're like, to be at the strip club, you got to get your behind done. And they came in with foam from Home Depot, and they stuffed her with foam.
This is what they were doing back in the day in New York. They were like,
they're still doing that because it's only like $1,500 and you can get your butt done.
Or like cement and stuff like that.
But do not do that.
No,
do not.
No. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.